Story Kids Rise.
The Greedy Bear short story for kids at Story Kids Rise. Once upon a time, in the enchanting Bearwood Forest, there lived a curious and mischievous bear named Benny. Benny was known as the Greedy Bear because he just couldn't resist the temptation of eating more than he needed. One sunny morning, Benny woke up with a rumbling tummy. He decided to go on a little adventure to find the tastiest treats in the forest. As he strolled along, he spotted a bush filled with delicious berries. Benny's eyes widened, and his mouth watered at the sight of the plump, juicy berries. Unable to control his greed, Benny began to gobble up the berries as fast as he could. He didn't notice that a wise old owl named Oliver was watching him from a nearby tree. "Slow down, young Benny," hooted Oliver. "Too much of a good thing can lead to trouble." But Benny paid no attention. He continued devouring the berries until his belly was so full that he could barely walk. Ignoring Oliver's warning, Benny waddled further into the forest in search of more treats. Next, Benny stumbled upon a beehive hanging from a tree branch. The sweet scent of honey wafted through the air, tempting Benny to taste it. Without thinking, he climbed the tree and stuck his paw into the hive. The bees buzzed angrily, and Benny quickly pulled his paw out, covered in sticky honey. Instead of learning from his mistake, Benny licked the honey off his paw and decided to take the beehive with him. As he dragged it along, more and more bees swarmed around him. Oliver, still perched in his tree, called out, "Benny, beware. Greed leads to trouble." But Benny was too busy enjoying the honey to listen. The bees chased him through the forest until he finally tripped and tumbled into a muddy puddle. Exhausted and covered in mud, Benny finally realized the consequences of his greed. Oliver flew down and landed beside him. "You see, Benny," said Oliver, "greed may bring temporary pleasure, but it often leads to trouble and regret. It's essential to appreciate what you have and not always seek more." Benny nodded, feeling a bit ashamed of his actions. With Oliver's guidance, he learned the importance of moderation and gratitude. Moral of the story: the tale of the greedy bear teaches us that excessive greed can lead to trouble and regret. It emphasizes the importance of moderation and gratitude in our lives. Instead of always seeking more, we should appreciate and share what we have, as true happiness comes from a heart filled with contentment and kindness. The Greedy Bear short story for kids at Story Kids Rise.
Story Kids Rise.